Hey Plantsome people, what is up? This is Plantsome, my name's Fleur, and today I'm going to be building with you a terrarium. So this is Boris, and we will be going from this to this. Let's get started. So step one, remove the cork. This cork is porous, like all cork is, which means that air can flow from the surrounding environment into this glass container. You don't have to worry about your plants suffocating. They will do just fine. It'll create a nice, cozy little environment for them. So step one, remove the cork. Step two, lava rocks. Lava rocks are great because they provide the drainage needed for tropical plants. So you're gonna lay these out at the bottom. So you want them sort of uniformly distributed along the bottom of Boris, and that's looking pretty good. Once we have those lava rocks in, step three is to put in the soil. When you put in the soil, you kind of want to provide a nice uniform layer over top of the lava rocks. We have our soil sort of evenly blanketed throughout the bottom of Boris. And I'm going to tell you guys a bit more about this soil. We make it here at Plantsome. It's organic, it's fair trade. It contains 4 things that are perfect for what we're doing today. We have vermiculite, coco coir, compost, and worm castings. So these tropical plants are going to love what we're giving them. So much drainage, so much nutrients, exactly what is going to help them thrive in this microenvironment. Step 4 is putting the plants in Boris, the most exciting part right here. So the plants that we have today, this is a coffee plant. We're going to use this plant as the centerpiece. It'll go smack dab in the middle of Boris. And the idea is to surround Boris with the other little plants that come in the set. We have this marble pothos, and then a couple small little ones that will surround the coffee plant and the pothos. Like I said, we want the big plant going smack dab in the middle. We will need to dig a little hole here in the soil. To take these plants out, you kind of want to squeeze the sides of the plastic container and then flip them. They kind of come out in a nice compact way, makes it easier to insert them into the bottom. So right into that little hole that you've created. You don't want this to be too squished in here, so putting it down as low as possible is great. All right, so that's looking pretty good in there. Don't be worried if it feels a bit crowded. It's supposed to feel a bit crowded. These tropical plants do great when they're all tucked together, nice and cozy, all wearing their masks, of course, so no need to worry about that. Once all of the plants fill up, you'll see what it creates. The next plant we're going to put in is the medium-sized one. It's a marble pothos. You want to take that out of the pot like so. Try and retain that root structure so that you're putting it through as little trauma as possible. It's already a lot for this poor little pothos, so it might feel a little cramped up. Their leaves might be touching. Oh no. But it's totally normal. They're cool with it. Don't worry. Just sort of try and give them each their own root space if you can, but over time the roots will grow together anyway. All right, the next plant we're gonna go for is this guy. Like I said, just pop him out and gently insert next to the coffee plant. So here we are, 3 plants in, 3 to go. So these guys are nice and small, and in your Plantsome set, you'll get some larger and some smaller plants. With these smaller plants, I mean, you don't even have to make the hole that large when you're inserting them into the soil there because they have such small pots that they come in already. So these ones are a bit easier to pop in. Right, things are looking good. So then, once we have all the plants in, kind of just rummage around, make sure that everyone's happy. Everyone has their own space, more or less. Make sure that there's a little bit of breathing room, as much as you can get, but like I said, it's a terrarium. They're supposed to be close together. They're sharing nutrients. Very exciting time. I mean, it's 6 amigos all together. How could you not be happy? So the next step is the moss. Moss is the next step. Moss. The moss will be pretty stuck together feeling, but just, rip it apart. After time, it'll readjust and grow together. Beautiful moss, you can see. It's gonna look great in here. You wanna fill this in the spaces in between the plants and putting it sort of along the sides. It'll create a really nice mossy look. Kind of like that. So over time, when we have the cork lid on here, the heat will stay within Boris. It'll get really nice and humid, what this moss loves. So it'll really thrive in here, and it'll feed the other plants as well. All right, we're almost done. One more step. Rocks. So about these rocks, they're purely aesthetic. It's totally up to you whether or not you want to use them. I think they look really nice, especially nestled among the moss. But if you don't want to put them in here, put them in your garden, whatever. They are multi-purpose. Just rock your socks. Oh my God, that was so bad. Do not include that.
That's definitely going in.
No. It's kind of nice putting the rocks towards the outside of the container, and then you'll be able to see, looking in, those rocks kind of below the moss. Really nice natural look. The last step. We're done. Boris is ready to roll. A little bit on taking care of Boris. Once you get the cap on Boris and he's all good to go, leave him for about a week. After that, you can start monitoring him for the amount of condensation that's forming on the inside of the glass. If there's too much condensation forming, you'll see droplets form on the sides and roll down the sides of the glass. In that instance, you want to take the cork and just put it on sideways like that for a couple hours, let some of that water evaporate, and reseal the cork. On the other hand, if there's too little condensation, if you're not seeing any droplets or any water forming on the inside of this glass, you might want to give it a couple spritzes of water. Not quite a mist, not quite a spray, but a spritz. All right, we're good to go. Thank you guys so much for joining me today to build Boris. It's been a great time. Hope you learned something cool. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them below this video or reach out to us on Instagram. Have an awesome day.